BLM450e and BLM435e, Offline Operator Guide. Please note that the system shown in the video has a different color scheme, however, the procedures described remain the same. Contents. Basics. Turning on the main power. Make sure that the power cords to the VFX module and booklet maker are plugged into a live wall outlet. Open top cover of the booklet maker and press the power button. Close the booklet maker top cover. Open front cover of the VFX and press the power button. Close the VFX front cover. Preparing the VFX feeder. In order to ensure consistent feeding, it is important that you prepare the paper stack prior to loading it into the VFX. Sheets that are damaged or are dog-eared should be removed. To avoid double feeds or misfeeds, it is important that you fan the paper stack prior to loading it into the VFX. Loading paper in the VFX. From the main menu, select which tray you intend to open and load. Tray A is the upper tray. Lift the paper guide lock release levers and adjust the paper guides according to the size of the paper. If paper stack is wider than 260 mm or 10.24 inches, install the wide paper supports. Prepare the stack of paper following the procedure described earlier and load it into the tray. Place the sheets on the tray with the leading edge against the separation frame, underneath the vacuum belts. The vacuum size valve needs to be manually shifted to the correct position, which depends on paper width. If paper width is greater than 188 mm, the lever needs to be positioned correspondingly. If paper width is less than 188 mm or 7.4 inch, the lever needs to be positioned as shown. Close tray. Changing staple cartridges. Open the booklet maker top cover. Press the staple cartridge ejector levers and pull out the staple cartridges. Replace by pushing a new staple cartridge into stapler until it snaps into position. Close top cover. Installing small paper kit. Changing paper width below 206 mm will start a step-by-step guide in the UI to help installing small paper kit. Start by loosening the following knobs. Loosen the knobs on the inside of the top cover. Lift to remove the side jogger extensions. Fit the keyhole-shaped cutout around the upper knob. Slide the slotted holes under the black knobs and tighten them. Repeat the procedure for the other side jogger extension. Close the top cover and press OK. Installing corner staple kit. Selecting corner stapling will start a step-by-step guide in the UI to help installing the corner staple kit. Open top cover. Loosen the knobs on the left side jogger. Open the cable fastener on the rear frame. Lift to remove the corner staple kit. Slide the slotted holes on the corner staple kit under the loosened knobs. Tighten the knobs on the left side jogger. Insert the cable into the jack in the front frame. Close the top cover and confirm. Emptying face trim waste bin. The message, "Empty face trim waste bin," will be shown on the user interface when the face trim waste bin is full. Open the lower door on the finishing module and empty the face trim waste bin. Reinstall empty face trim waste bin and close the door. Press the Done button on the user interface to restart the job. Docking or undocking. To undock the booklet maker system, push in the latch on the docking assembly. To avoid damaging the communication cable, do not separate VFX too far from the booklet maker. Push in the latch and undock VFX from the booklet maker. Making booklets. Paper size. To change paper size, select paper size, choose desired size of paper and press confirm. To create a custom paper size, select paper size, press custom size, then edit. Set the desired width or length, either by pressing the plus and minus buttons, or by pressing the width or length numbers. Select Confirm. Booklet size. Select booklet size and choose one of the two suggested booklet sizes. Select Confirm. To select a custom booklet size, select Booklet Size, then Custom Booklet Size, then Edit. Set the desired width or length, either by pressing the plus and minus buttons, or by pressing the width or length numbers. Select Confirm. Square back. The square back in the finishing module has three different settings: auto, manual, and off. To toggle between auto and manual modes, press square back. To activate manual mode, turn off auto mode switch. In manual mode, choose from one of 8 square back modes. Select Confirm. To turn off squareback completely, select squareback, make sure that auto mode is disabled and on the slider select off mode. Fold position. Select Fold. Press the plus button to move the position closer to the front cover and the minus to move the position towards the back cover. Select Confirm. Staple settings. Select Staple and enable Saddle Staple. Press the plus button to move the position closer to the front cover and the minus to move the position towards the back cover. Select Confirm. To enable edge stapling, select Staple, then Edge Stapling, and Confirm. To enable corner stapling, select Staple, then Corner Staple, and Confirm. Selecting corner stapling will start a step-by-step guide in the UI to help installing the corner staple kit. See detailed guide on how to install the corner staple kit on Basics section of this video. To disable completely, select Staple and uncheck Selected Stapling Mode. Select Confirm. Set registration fine adjustment. Select booklet size, set registration, check set registration. Send one set of the job from the feeder, then wait for further instructions. Open the top cover and inspect if set is compiled without being buckled or being too loose. In this case, set is being compiled too tight. Close the top cover. Use the plus button to increase the distance between stop gate and back joggers. Verify adjustments. Repeat this process until the set is compiled tight, but without being buckled in any orientation. Verify adjustments. Open the top cover and check adjustments. The set is now compiled correctly. Close the top cover and confirm adjustments. Skew compensation. Select Fold, then, Skew compensation. If booklet is skewed in this direction, press plus button. If booklet is skewed in this direction, press minus button. Select Confirm. Feeder. Select sheets and set a number of sheets to be fed by pressing the plus and minus buttons. Select weight and set to the correct paper weight by pressing the plus and minus buttons. Setting up a feeder job. To add a layer, press the Add Layer button. Select tray and set to feed from A or B by pressing the plus and minus buttons. To change the order of layers, select Layer, then press plus or minus buttons. Select Confirm. Unwanted layers can be deleted by marking that layer and pressing the Delete Layer button. Advanced settings in the VFX. To reach advanced settings, press the Advanced Settings button from the feeder settings screen. Both trays of the VFX can be set independently. Just select tray A or B and then any setting to modify. Select Confirm. Feeding mixed media. To reach settings, press Media Properties button from the Advanced Feeder Settings screen when in Auto Feeder mode. Turn on Mixed Media when running media of various paper weight. Select Confirm. VFX is now set up to run with mixed media from the same tray. In mixed media mode, the VFX will feed sets with heavier covers and thinner body sheets loaded in the same tray. Feeding black media. To set the VFX up to feed black media, go to Feeder, then Advanced Feeder Settings, then Media Properties. Turn on black media. Select Confirm. Black media settings are confirmed by an icon next to the layer number. Note that this means actual black paper and not a white paper with 100% dark toner coverage. VFX is now set up to feed black media. Feeding coated media. Set coated media to on or off depending on whether the loaded media is coated or not. Select Confirm. Compensating paper curl. Select paper curl and enter the curl amount. Paper curl can be a challenge for any feeding system. The VFX operates best if the sheets have minimal amount of curl. Efforts should be made to minimize the amount of curl. However, if your media has curl, and you are running the VFX in auto mode, it is important that the VFX gets information regarding curl, so that the feed cycle can compensate for the curl amount. Here is how you determine the curl amount of your paper stack. When measuring curl, use a small stack of paper and always measure the positive curl, meaning that the leading edge of the stack should be pointing up as shown. If the paper needs to be loaded in the trays with the edge pointing down, then simply insert the measured value as a negative curl amount on the GUI. First, take a sample stack about 15 mm or 0.5 inch high and place it on a flat surface. Then take the midpoint as reference and do all the following measurements within the marked area of the picture, from the center to the leading edge in paper feed direction. Measure the lowest point of the stack of paper. Measure the height of the leading edge of the stack of paper. The difference between the leading edge and the lowest point is the amount of paper curl. Double sheet detection. To reach setting, press the double sheet detection button from the advanced feeder settings when in auto feeder mode. Select Confirm. Manual feed. Should the booklet maker be docked to an upstream module, undock it. See Section 1, Docking or Undocking, for how to undock the booklet maker. Remove manual feed tray from the back of the booklet maker. Hang the hand feed tray onto the booklet maker by inserting the tray tabs in the in-feed cover slots. Adjust the manual feed side guides to the correct paper size if needed. Press the green play button to start manual feed mode. Feed sheets. The booklet making process will start automatically, as soon as a set is fed into the booklet maker. Note that next set can only be fed when the green hand image has appeared on the screen. To cancel manual feed mode, press red stop button. Put back the manual feed tray and dock the booklet maker back to VFX. Tools. Production priority. Select Tools then Production priority. Using productivity mode, the productivity will be higher, but the system will get more demanding for high-quality media. Media below 120 GSM for coated media or media that has a slight curl, will generally run better in the precision mode. Select Confirm. Square back offset. Select Square back offset. Select sharper edges by pressing the plus button or softer edges by pressing the minus button. Select Confirm. Stacker full detection. Select Stacker Full Detection. The Stacker Full Detection stops the system when there is a risk of the belt stacker becoming full. Leave the Stacker Full Detection set to on, if you want the system to stop automatically when the belt stacker is getting full. Only disable this function if the belt stacker stop gate is folded down. Select Confirm. Units. Select Units. Select the desired units by pressing the millimeter or inch button. By selecting metric, inch or Japan series, the related paper sizes will be shown in the paper size section on the settings screen. Languages. Select Languages, and then press on the desired language. Software version. Shows the software version of all modules in the booklet making system. Press the red X button to go back to the Tools screen. Service mode. This function is for authorized service personnel only and is password protected. Jobs. Saving a job. To save a job, first start with selecting the desired settings of the job. To save the job, press Jobs, then Save As. Choose a name for the new job and select Confirm. To overwrite any other saved job, select it and change the settings. When any changes are made in a currently loaded job, it will be indicated by an asterisk next to the job name on the main menu. Go to Jobs and select Save. Loading a job. Load any stored job by going to Jobs, selecting the job and confirming by pressing the Load button. Deleting jobs. Delete any stored job by selecting the job from the list and confirm by pressing the Delete button. Select Confirm. Clearing misfeeds. Clearing misfeeds inside the VFX. If sheets are jammed or misfed, user interface provides a visual indication of where the misfeed has occurred. The affected tray will unlock. Pull out the affected tray. If the sheet is damaged, remove the complete set and the next booklet will be correct. But if the sheet has been misfed and is not damaged, reposition and restart. Close the tray. To clear a misfeed indicated in area VFX3, open the VFX door. Lift the green handles to the baffles. Remove the damaged sheets. Misfeeds inside the booklet maker. To clear a misfeed indicated in area BM1, open the booklet maker top cover. Lift the in-feed drive paper guide, until the magnet holds the in-feed drive paper guide in upper position towards the frame. Remove any jammed or misfed sheets. Place the in-feed drive paper guide back in operating position. Close the booklet maker top cover. To clear a misfeed in area BM2, open and then close the top cover. If system does not purge, remove misfed sheets manually following the procedure. Open the booklet maker top cover. Angle the paper guide and fold up the transport belt assembly. Remove any jammed or misfed sheets. Fold down the transport belt assembly. Additionally, if better access to jammed sheets is required, Pull the levers as shown and remove the upper fold roller paper guide. Pull the levers as shown and remove the lower fold roller paper guide. Fold up the transport belt assembly. Remove any jammed or misfed sheets. Fold down the transport belt assembly. Reinstall the lower fold roller paper guide. Secure it by pushing the lever away from the center of the machine. Reinstall upper fold roller paper guide. Secure it by pushing the lever away from the center of the machine. Misfeeds inside the finishing module. To clear a misfeed indicated in areas FM1 or FM2, open and close the top cover. If system does not purge, remove misfed sheets manually following the procedure. Open the finishing module top cover, remove any misfed sheets and close the top cover. Misfeeds in the belt stacker. To clear a misfeed indicated in area BM4 or FM3, look for any misfed sets and remove them. Troubleshooting. If you get many misfeed error messages VFX 100 or VFX 200 misfeed repeatedly, keep the VFX in auto mode but select the next paper weight up from the feed sequence screen. This will adjust all feed parameters to better handle a heavier media, and some paper types need this to run well. So if you have loaded the VFX with an 80 GSM media and you get many misfeeds, then select paper weight 106 GSM and try again. If you instead are getting many double feeds, these can be the following error codes. Then keep the VFX in auto mode but select the next paper weight down from the media screen. So if you load the VFX with 80 GSM media and you get many double feeds, select paper weight 64 GSM instead and try again. Test VFX settings. Test settings button is used to check the feeder settings in the trays. Press this button once to activate all the fans and move the elevator to process position. Press this button second time to switch off the fans and to move the elevator down. When the message "Miss" is displayed, the paper is not being fed from the VFX trays. Please refer to the miss error procedure in section 6 of the operator manual. We will walk you through this particular procedure as an example. Does paper have cross-process direction curl? If not, decrease process position by 2 and check if the sheets are floating correctly. Press Test Settings button and see if sheets are floating correctly. If not, increase pickup time by 30 milliseconds and run a job to test if the sheets are fed correctly. Now sheets are fed correctly. If the VFX is set correctly, the sheets will be floating horizontally with equal amounts of separation between sheets. In this example, fan settings are set too high. In this example, fan settings are too low. For 80 GSM paper, approximately 15 to 20 sheets shall be floating. For 300 GSM paper, approximately 6 to 10 sheets shall be floating. If the error message, "Jam, too long, too thick," appears, follow the manual to correct this error. Maintenance. Booklet Maker Maintenance. Open the Booklet Maker top cover. Pull the levers as shown and remove the lower fold roller paper guide. Lift up the upper exit belt assey. Clean the lower exit belts using lint-free cloth and soap water. Move belt by hand to access and clean entire length of the belt. Clean the upper exit belts using lint-free cloth and soap water. Move belt by hand to access and clean entire length of the belt. Clean the in-feed belt using lint-free cloth and soap water. Turn the shaft with the other hand to gain access to the whole length of the in-feed belt. Clean both rollers. Clean the transport belts using lint-free cloth and soap water. Move belt by hand to access and clean entire length of the belt. Make sure not to damage the flight attached to the belt when moving the belt. Clean off dust from the in-feed sensor Q1 using lint-free cloth. Do not use any fluid on the sensors. Clean off the dust from the paper path sensor Q14 using lint-free cloth. Clean off the dust from the exit sensor Q2 using lint-free cloth. Reinstall upper fold roller paper guide. Secure it by pushing the lever away from the center of the machine. Lower the upper exit belt assey. In order to clean the clincher area, first remove staple cartridges by pressing the ejector levers. Wipe the clincher area with lint-free cloth. Replace the staple cartridge by pushing them into the stapler until they snap into position. Close the Booklet Maker top cover. Finishing module maintenance. To clean square fold clamps and roller, the trimmer unit in the finishing module needs to be at the right side, next to the booklet maker. To move the trimmer unit, close the top cover, press the paper size button, select 210 by 660 paper size and confirm. Press the green play button. Press the red button once it appears on the screen. Open the top cover. Trimmer unit has now moved to the right side, making the access easier. Lift up the following shaft. To make access easier, push the square fold roller housing towards the middle of the machine. Clean the upper and lower clamp beam with water and lint-free cloth. Clean the square fold roller. The roller can easily be rotated by hand. Rotate and clean the roller until all of the surface is cleaned. Close the top cover. To gain access to all sensors, trimmer unit needs to be moved to the center of the finishing module. Press the paper size button, select A3 paper size and confirm. Press the red button once it appears on the screen. The trimmer unit is now in the middle of the machine, making it easier to access all of the sensors. Use lint-free cloth to clean sensors Q13 and Q14. Use lint-free cloth to clean sensor Q20. Use lint-free cloth to clean sensor Q16. Move trimmer unit closer to the booklet maker if necessary. Close the top cover. For easier access of in-feed module foam rollers, move trimmer unit all the way to the exit side. To move the trimmer unit to the exit side of the finishing module, select A4 long edge feed paper size. Press the red button once it appears on the screen. Open top cover and clean the foam rollers with water and lint-free cloth. The foam rollers can be easily rotated by hand. Once you are done cleaning, close the top cover. VFX vacuum feeder maintenance. Open either tray. Clean the suction belts with rubber reactivator alcohol. Remove dust from the ultrasonic and optical double sheet detector sensors with a dry, soft cloth. Close tray, repeat on the other tray and then open VFX door. If needed, clean the feed rollers inside the baffles and the in-feed wheels with rubber reactivator alcohol. Move the green handles to the baffles and clean surfaces from toner smearings. Maintenance is now complete.